can't dame pesos. Get your subs, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard.
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Wait, set. Ready?
Mike 54. Here we go. Watch twist.
Hey, check it.
The second-year man from USC, this is Ronald Jones. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 26-yard line.
Throwing now is Brady. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Easy. 72.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. He's got Evans. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Chris Godwin, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant, and he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take one guy, two guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. 4th down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. And they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Now Jones. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
54 Mike. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
On 3rd down, Brady. And he's got Miller. That one goes for 24 yards.
Let's go. Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Brady's throw there complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. Now they're going to get about 3 here out of this 1st down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
10 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down.
And a Buccaneer 1st down.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll run on 1st down. It's Jones, and the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Run 80. Run 80. Watch the pass.
They'll try the left side. Vaughn. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage. especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. He really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
I know the special teams coach will not permit himself a smile here, but inside, he's glowing. This is what he practices for. This is what he schemes. This is what he watches tape to put himself and his team in a position to score points. An absolute dream return.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll go down at the 28. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's Grant, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
Green 80.
55. Tackles, tackles.
14.
Mike, 55.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. Fights off the defender. He finds some open field here. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
55 to Mike.
Hey, alert. Let's get that ball right here.
Backer, check the backer.
To throw is Wilson. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And Myers able to knock it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Chris Godwin, the former Penn Stater, should see an increase in action and production in 2019 with Adam Humphries and Deshaun Jackson gone from the team. 842 yards in 2018, second only to Mike Evans on the Buccaneers.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
At their own 19-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. On first down, Grant. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
Zebra.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Mike 55. It's just me and you.
Throwing is Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And that will come the offense as they take over.
Watch 54.
You gonna see me in your second.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Brady, 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. And Brady's throw there incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Brady. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more?
This is caught at the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett. 78 yards as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Brady. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. On play action, now Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown.
Brandon, I loved his game in college, and I thought he would translate well as a pro. Boy, did he exceed my expectations. Another punt return for a touchdown.
Busted onto the scene as an all-pro returner as a rookie. He's not looking back. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. He's got it complete to Gronkowski. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. The final shot before half for Brady. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Keep playing hard.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. This is intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A gain of 3, second down.
54 52.
From the 25 on second down, Brady looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off it, and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Gronkowski, the intended receiver. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Watch it, 5.
Slam.
Gotta go, in and out. Let's go.
On first down, Wilson. That's complete to his running back, Grant. Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
That's good for a Seahawks.
And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. They'll run on first down. It's Grant. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They go back to Grant. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
That's it, baby.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On third down, it's Grant. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Hey, watch that, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike.
Check 50, check 50.
Quarterback, don't get nervous.
Wilson.
Don't get nervous.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down. And Myers winds up yanking it. This is no good. Wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is.
This was a clear day in September. I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. 7 yards there and a first down.
Here we go. Here we go. Hey, check it.
On first down, it's Jones. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And room there to work it inside the 25. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. From the 24, Brady, pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
Right there, 54, right there, right there.
Check it, reload.
To throw on third down. Brady, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. Vinatieri's kick is good. And that will finish off this third quarter of play. Back now in Seattle, Washington, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, his throw incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's third down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Switch.
Check. Good time.
On third down, Wilson. And able to find Dorsett. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. 52 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
49. Check 49.
Good job right there.
He's coming. 66. Bullet. Pass. He's coming. Double up.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just...
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Corey Grant, his 5th touchdown now on the year. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. Yeah, and he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met him.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jaron Reed breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Brady going to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And he's going to go down again. Jaron Reed able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Complete to Jones. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Brady. Complete. He finds Brady. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down. Brady now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Brady. He completes it to Evans. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Brady's got his guys 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. To throw is Brady. This is caught. Gronkowski. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. They'll try to run it in with Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Now Brady. And this will be caught. Touchdown. So in the final minute here, now a 2-point conversion will tie the game.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do in the 2-point conversion.
So a big play coming now for the Bucs as they'll go for 2.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 50. Hey, Alabama.
Brady to throw. And he's going to get into the end zone. The 2-point conversion successful. And we've got ourselves a tie football game. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
Here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. I see you nodding your head up and down. That's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat.
95.
Throwing now is Wilson.
Check.
Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Mike 55. Right there. Go.
I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine, baby. You're all mine.
Let's go double count right here. Double count.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. David Moore with time running out. And they have taken the lead here in the final.